Coming up on the Greg and Tim Show podcast.
Come on. I hope a part of it's sports. I heard you guys like to talk about sports. No,
Okay.
I've done my research. I Googled you guys. You guys are like the smorgasbord. You're like the charcuterie board of talk shows. Right? Had hair down to my shoulders. I know that's hard for you guys to imagine. Had hair down to my shoulders. Man, I got some tattoos. I'm 50. You know, I didn't think I'd be 50 and get 40 tattoos in a year. I am a shoe guy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can wear the same clothes every day, but my shoes are going to be fresh. I promise you. This book is a journal entry out of my heart. Fellas, I didn't want to live no more in 2023. Spiritual Lessons from the Drive-Thru is the message that we're talking about this morning, because we live in a culture that wants everything immediate and quick. And this is not hot and ready. Sometimes the greater things in life have to be developed in the crock pot. Dude, never say that out loud ever again in front of the camera. He looked at me and he said these words. This is 2010. He said, "Why not you?"
Get your earballs ready. Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Take time to sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Here are your hosts, Greg and Tim.
Welcome to the Greg and Tim Show.
Welcome
Welcome, Greg.
here, Tim.
It's great to see you.
We got the table again.
We did.
The table's back.
I missed it. I really
Did you?
did. Yeah, because there's something to put my hands on.
Yeah, and to write on.
Yeah.
When you feverishly write on things.
Yeah, I can't write
That's my favorite.
or read. But I didn't manage to read this
a
book.
book.
I did.
Why Not You by
Yeah.
Dr. Ed Newton.
Yeah, Pastor Ed Newton.
Why do we have this book here, Tim?
Because we interviewed this author and pastor, Mr. Ed Newton,
Yep.
who wrote the book, Why Not You?
Why not you, Tim?
We've been both been to his church.
We've both been to his
in
church.
San Antonio. Great guy.
And it was great. We sat down with him, and today on the show, we're honored to welcome a voice that is shaping lives far beyond the walls of his church, Tim. Far beyond. Dr.
And
Ed
his coffee
Newton,
shop. Great coffee shop.
and a great coffee
Did you,
shop.
when you went there, did you have something from his coffee shop?
Yes, a coffee.
I had a great, it was a sugar-free, they had tons of flavors.
No, I just
I
had
like
a coffee.
a frap, or they call it frap, because you only call it.
I also
frap.
shopped in their store. They have a little store
Yeah.
there.
But they're
Um,
one of the best coffee
so-
shops, so Matthew would like it. You should go.
Dr. Ed Newton is the lead pastor of Community Bible Church, also known as CBC in San Antonio.
Not to be confused with the
CBC
Canadian
in Canada. Yeah.
broadcasting company.
It's one of the most influential churches in the nation, and he's a man whose heart is fully committed to helping people live out the good news of Jesus in every place they are called to be, Tim. He is a follower of Jesus, a husband, a father, a pastor, and now the author of a powerful new book right here.
It says,
It
Why
was
Not You?
released on November the 11th. Why Not You? A call to step boldly into the purpose that God has already placed in your hands and yours, listening
and
and
yours,
watching.
but
Ed's
mostly yours.
Ed's passion and energy and authenticity have impacted countless of lives, and we're excited to dive into his story, his faith, and the message behind his new book. Please welcome to the show, Pastor Ed Newton. Welcome to the show.
Is this the moment where you want me to talk back right here?
Yes, sir.
Have we started? Is this official?
We're
official.
officially running. You can say whatever
Oh,
you
hey,
want
man,
now.
You got it. Hey, thank you so much, guys. I am great. Thank y'all for making space, man. What an honor to be on the show today.
So I'm going to start off right up by talking about your book. We have it over here. The title is Why Not You? And what prompted you to write this book? And what do you think people are going to get out of it, or you hope for them to get out of it when they read it?
Yeah, the title is not original to me. In 2010, I was a guest preacher at the church I currently pastor. I was a former evangelist, still have an evangelist spirit, but I was traveling the country, was found on YouTube by the church I currently pastor. They brought me in as a guest preacher, 700 dudes at a off-site camp location. Had hair down to my shoulders. I know that's hard for you guys to imagine. Had hair down to my shoulders, flat bill cap, skinny jeans. I skateboard, and showed up at a rough and tumble men's retreat. And as soon as I get out of the car, I could tell the men's pastor, who did not have the opportunity to pick me, the associate pastor, executive pastor, picked me. Probably not to the likings of the men's pastor. As I get out of the car, he kind of eyeballs me up and down. And I could tell, like, he's thinking, this guy. He walks off, 700 men at this men's conference. A guy named Chuck Yates, who gets the introduction, actually the shout out at the beginning, is a missionary to the 1%ers of motorcycle gang members in the country who loves Jesus, gauges, goatee, tattoos, comes up to me, hugs me, kisses me on my cheek. And that had never happened before in my life.
Yeah.
And I guess he smelled the insecurity. I didn't know anybody. And he looked at me and he said these words. This is 2010. He said, "Why not you? God's going to use somebody. Why not you?"
Yeah.
Well, I came back as the guest preacher about 6 years in a row, became the pastor. Chuck's a dear friend. He was speaking that into me. I was so insecure, I couldn't receive it. And then it became really a life message for me. God's going to use somebody. Why not you? So that's the whole title. Shout out to Chuck Yates. And, but the whole book's, man, it's crazy. I'm not a writer. Man, I couldn't even pass the SAT, y'all. I got learning disabilities. I got a form of dyslexia. Had to do the audio book. It took me 2 days to read it. A gazillion mistakes.
It sounded
I couldn't
great.
say words. Well, brother, if you knew how many times that had to be edited, it's a miracle. That book's a miracle. I did a devotional for a high school basketball team that this is not in the book. I did a devotional for a high school basketball team that lost 5 games in a row. The coach was a young man that was in our ministry here at the church. He said, "Pastor Ed, could you come just motivate our guys?" He says, "We're struggling." So I go, they play in town. They're a team out of Austin. They play in town. And I just said it. I was like, "Hey man, somebody's got to win this game. Why not you? Somebody's got to get a rebound." I mean, you guys are sports
Yep.
junkies. So I just started going through stuff. I was like, "Hey man, somebody's got to dive on the floor. Might as well
Yeah.
be you. Somebody's take a charge. Why not you? Somebody ought to high five somebody. It ought to be you." So I just kind of go through every dimension of basketball. Somebody ought to throw a bounce pass. Somebody ought to set a screen. Somebody get a rebound. Why not you? Somebody's got to win. I was like, this game's not going to end in a tie.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to win. This ain't upward basketball. Somebody's got to win. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot better than my motivational speak when I coach basketball. I just throw chairs around. So I like your approach quite a bit better.
But who's your team, Pastor Ed?
Well, let me tell you real quick. I get out of this. This team wins, and then the shooting guard on this high school basketball team, his mom, Esther Fed, is a book agent for Brock Purdy, Mark Batterson. I mean, the who's who. And her son gets in the car and says, "Mom, listen, you represent a lot of people that are famous. This guy's not famous, but it's the best talk I've ever heard in my life."
That's awesome.
And I got a book deal because of a pregame speech for some high school dudes where a guy was like, "Mom, represent this guy." And that's why you got that book on your table.
Awesome. That's great. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that story. I have a follow-up question about the book here. 99% of the people don't write books. I've never written a book. Greg's never written a book. And this is, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first book that you've written, correct?
Second one. The first one's a coaster.
Okay. What kind of things surprised you about the process, both good and bad, from before not ever written a book to now finally writing a book? What kind of things surprised you along the journey?
Yeah, I think the thing that always surprises me, and once more, it's the whole point of the book, is the receptivity of this book. Because as a creative, I think what happens is a lot of times you're in your own echo chamber of how you think this is going to be received. But what it has done in 2 weeks, it's my first book sold 2,000 books in 5 years. This book has eclipsed that several times in 2 weeks. And I just think this message is resonating with people because there's a lot of people that have been told, fake it till you make it. But what if you feel like you're faking, you're not going to make it?
Yeah.
So this book is a journal entry out of my heart. Fellas, I didn't want to live no more in 2023. That's in the book. December 23rd or December 26th, 2023. I didn't want to live no more. And God met me in Kalamazoo, Michigan, getting therapy. And a lot of what you're getting out of that book is the journal entries out of a battered, tethered soul that's gone through anxiety, depression, loss, rejection, insecurity, inadequacy. And God met me. And this is just a survival guide out of my life.
Outside of the things you do, like you're a pastor, you lead the church. We talk about all of that in the intro, but outside of that, who is Ed Newton?
A servant of the Lord, man. Bottom line, servant of the Lord. I'm a husband, a father, a brother, a friend.
Yeah,
that's who I am. I'm a servant of the Lord first and foremost. So a son of the King. So yeah, it's not about titles. It's not about how big our church is, and it's not about that book. I mean, that book ain't the Bible.
No,
So I'm nobody without Jesus, man, and I mean that.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful. So yeah, I'm a servant of the Lord. That's who I am.
I'm just curious. You are a pastor now. You've been a pastor for a while. It just popped into my head now. But if you didn't go along the lines of what you did not expect to be as a pastor, what do you think? What were your aspirations? What did you want to be?
I wanted to work for Nike when I was a kid. I wanted to be a sales rep. Do you guys? I don't know how this works where you guys live, but we had these sports reps that would go around to high school teams and sell shoes.
Okay.
So the team would have team shoes. Nowadays, that's not really a thing because there's a lot of individuality. But back in the day, everybody had to wear the same shoes on the team. And we'd have a rep that would come in. I wanted to be that guy because he was always wearing cool shoes and had cool outfits.
And that's something you've incorporated into your look now too. You actually said that. You said that in the book.
I'm a shoe guy.
Yeah,
I am a shoe guy. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I can wear the same clothes every day, but my shoes are going to be fresh. I promise you.
Speaking of clothes, you got a long sleeve shirt on there. It's collared up. Max Lucado says, I think, tells a story in the foreword, or you tell a story that he had to call you because he wanted a tattoo, and he couldn't think of any pastors who had tattoos, but he called you because you're tatted up. Can you talk about your tattoos for a little bit?
Yeah, man, I got almost 40 tattoos in 12 months. So last Thanksgiving to this Thanksgiving, man, I got some tattoos. My kids got me into it, man. My daughters got me into some tattoos, and they've been a form of therapy. They're my sticky notes, man. I'm a big sticky note guy that puts sticky notes on mirrors.
Okay.
Motivate messages, and basically all my tattoos are sticky notes on my body that just remind me of God's faithfulness. Yeah.
What's your favorite one?
I'd be amiss if it wasn't my wife's name.
Yeah.
Right here. I mean, I got my wife's name. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just Stephanie.
Okay.
In that space. I'd probably say that one for sure. Everything's kind of Jesus related. So I'd say all of them are sentimental at some level.
Yeah.
But man, I'm 50. I didn't think I'd be 50 and get 40 tattoos in a year. But praise God. But I did help Pastor Max Lucado get his first tattoo.
There you go. That's awesome. What other than the tattoos though, what's something we wouldn't know about you? What's something that if you walked in front of your congregation today and you had to tell them one thing that you don't think anybody knew about you? It could be a hidden talent, it could be something you've achieved, one thing that somebody may not know about you. What do you think that one thing would be?
Yeah, I'm a barber.
Really?
I'm not licensed, but I learned how to cut hair in college to try to hustle some money to buy my wife's engagement ring. And so I went to Paul Mitchell barber school and learned how to cut hair, not as a student that was learning, but as a client, because you could pay $2 to get a haircut. Right. And for an hour, you could sit in their chair. And while they were cutting my hair, I learned how to cut. I would keep going back over and over and over again, because for $2, they had to hold you in the chair for an hour.
Oh, okay.
So I learned, and then I go back to my dorm, and then I learned how to cut hair. and man, saved up $1,200 and bought my wife's ring. Yeah. So I'm a barber. I cut my own hair until I got a guy in our church that cuts my hair. But when he can't cut my hair, I cut my own hair. That'd probably be the hidden talent. I cut my own hair.
Can you give yourself a fade?
Yeah, absolutely. That fade right there, I just gave myself.
Nice. How do you do the back?
Yeah.
How do you do the back?
Man, I got a mirror like this. I'm on the mirror, and I got a big wall mirror, and I back up really, really close to it. So
it
gets a little tricky.
How does that work? If you can't cut your hair, like after 4 days, you start panicking. I need my haircut. I'm gonna.
I get my hair cut every week.
Okay, every week.
Every week.
Okay.
Every week I get a haircut. Every week.
That's funny.
Speaking of hair, though, before I came to your church, Bart gave me like a little bit of a heads up on who I was going to hear speaking, and he said, "You're going to hear somebody who came to our church with long hair. He was a skateboarder. He was somebody that was totally outside of the Texas culture." And he just came in and just started speaking, and people listened. What made you cut your hair?
There's a old worship leader. I say old, he's my age. Named Charlie Hall. I don't know if you know the name Charlie Hall, but Charlie Hall was a part of the Passion movement with Pastor Louis Giglio and those guys back in the day. And he and I were doing an event together, and he had really long hair, longer than mine, and mine was down to my shoulders. And he said, "Man, I'm so glad you're with me this weekend. You make me look really good." And I looked at him, and I was like, "Dear God, we both look homeless." But he just said, I made him look good. So I went home, got a haircut. But there's a really interesting point before that. And I was doing a revival. I was preaching at a church in Florida, and the pastor took me out to eat, and we went to Texas Roadhouse, and that's a key part of the story. He said, "Ed, I need to tell you something." He says, "It's going to sound offensive. I'm in a suit, tie," because it was a traditional church, because he would wear suits, so I just would wear a suit. I wore the same suit like every day at this revival. And he took me out to this Texas Roadhouse, and he said, "Ed, I need to tell you something." He said, "You need to get a haircut." And I'm in a suit and a tie, and I'm out to eat, and I'm a guest preacher. He goes, "You need to get a haircut." And nobody's ever talked to me like that. Like, and I don't mean that like because I'm somebody. I'm just saying I'm the guest preacher at your church. You knew that I was coming into your church, or else you wouldn't have invited me. You know, if my hair was offensive, you wouldn't have invited me to your church and then tell me to get a haircut.
Yeah,
right.
Does that make sense? Well, I go, "Why did you say that?" And then he said this. He goes, "I just really feel like in my spirit that God wants to use you with adults. And I think you need to get a haircut." And then I go and do another event in Oklahoma. And that's when Charlie Hall was like, "Hey, man, you make me look really good." And so I went home, just cut it all off. And then a few months later, I got the invitation to come and be pastor of this church.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So,
yeah.
Wild.
That is wild. And you
I miss my hair, though. I'm going to be honest with that.
Yeah. You miss having the long hair?
I do, man. I miss it.
Yeah,
I miss it.
It's a lot of work, though.
So I'd like to see a picture. If you could get a picture sent to us, that'd be great, so we can put it on the screen of when you had long hair. I really need to see what it looks like.
You guys keep talking, and I'm going to Google it, and then I'm going to show it to you.
Show it.
We could probably find it on
Take
Google
your time
too.
for sure.
Yeah.
If it's on social media, we'll find it. So we are here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where it's really, really cold already. And
wait, just explain to them, it was minus 15 Celsius today. And I'm going to explain to you what that is.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is minus 15 Celsius in Fahrenheit? 5 degrees.
Yeah. And it's just getting started. It's only December 1st. It's going to get colder. You're there in Texas. It's a bit warmer for most of the year. I'm heading out to Texas in the beginning of January for a few days, so I'm going to get out of the cold a bit. But we go to a great church here in Winnipeg called Springs Church, and we've been to your church, which is also an awesome church. But there's different challenges I find between leading a church in Texas versus leading a church in Canada, specifically Winnipeg. And one of the advantages and disadvantages to having a church out in Winnipeg here is there's not as many, it's not Bible Belt, let's say, if you want to use a phrase, compared to Texas. But, we stick out more. We don't blend in. We're very obvious about the things that we do in Winnipeg. Whereas in Texas, I find you can't throw a stone without hitting a large church. What are some of the challenges that you found in leading a church in the quote unquote Bible belts in Texas?
I would say that even though we are quote unquote in the Bible Belt, Texas, San Antonio specifically is probably not. It's maybe just outside of the Bible Belt. Even though there's churches a lot of places, predominantly the closer you get to Mexico, it's more Catholic.
Right.
Okay.
And there are more Catholic churches than there are Christian churches in San Antonio. So for us, I would say so that creates another complexity and challenge because of the fact that there's a lot of people that come from Catholic churches. And I believe that there are a lot of Catholics that are Christians. Not all Catholics are Christians, but I believe there are a lot of Catholics that are followers of Jesus. And for us, it's a combination of CBC, which is the name of our church, Community Bible Church, is a collaboration of a lot of Catholic people who have given their life to Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There are a lot of non-church people that find this church is attractional. There's a lot of church people that have been de-churched who are got hurt by church or kind of fell away from the church that come back to church. And then we have a lot of different offshoots of Christianity, of Presbyterian, Methodist, and then you kind of go down the list of denominationalism. So it becomes like this buffet bar of a lot of different beliefs, of theological perspectives, doctrinal perspectives, cultural perspectives, political perspectives.
Yep.
So for us, we are not a Republican church or a Democrat church. We're a kingdom church.
Right.
But we have people from both sides that come together. And there's tensions in this around electoral seasons. And there are tensions when we have conversations about doctrinal issues. But for me to navigate what I call the tightrope of keeping the main thing, to preach the Bible in full context, knowing there's a good majority of people are like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then there's a lot of, I asked our church to raise their hand if they knew who Rahab was in the Bible. Rahab. Half our church didn't even know who Rahab was. So I have to do y'all have Vacation Bible School in Canada?
We do, yeah.
Vacation Bible?
Vacation Bible School, the kids go there.
Oh, like Bible camp? Yeah.
VBS. So here I have to explain what VBS is.
Right.
So there's, when you're in the Bible Belt, there's a lot of words that people use that they understand. That's not the case here. It's just probably a little bit more of an understanding than where you're from. But here it's been primarily influenced by the fact that most Catholic churches don't have a lot of kids programs and youth programs, and they do, but not to the level of our church and other churches where they have a Bible camp and they have. I'm not saying they don't have kids and student programs. It's just different.
Yeah.
So
it's funny. It's funny. We were at a playground just out in San Antonio there when we were visiting Bart and Cindy, and in the playground we met some people and they had just moved to the neighborhood, and the first thing that Bart said to them was, "Hey, what church do you guys go to?" That doesn't get said here. Just to let you know, the difference between your area and our area, that doesn't get said here. When you meet somebody for the first time, that's not generally in the first 3 questions you ask them. So for me and my wife, it was something very special because they answered "Oh, we go to this church. Oh, we haven't heard of CBC. We should check it out." And it was very easy to invite there, whereas it's not like that here in Canada.
No, that makes sense. Hey, by the way, I found a picture of me with long hair. I just wanted you guys to see it.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
That's not you.
If you Google Edward Newton, that's what
That's
you
what
get.
you
His
get.
name
Well,
is
that's the person that invented all those. Yeah, Edward.
Is that the Apple guy?
No, it's like isn't the guy that shot? Never mind. Anyway,
The Apple.
I'll probably be wrong. The guy that's William. Isn't that William Tell?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't
Anyway.
know. Man.
We
I believe I do have a picture right here. This is the picture that you wanted to see, right? You wanted to see this picture. This is what you wanted to see, right there.
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
You look like you were in a boy band.
No, he was cutting his first
I
rap.
was.
album.
How about that one? How about that
There
one?
you go.
Love it.
Do you have a wristband on in that
man.
photo?
Yeah, a red watch. Just a red
I thought maybe
watch.
that was like a
So-
play call for like as a quarterback.
It could be.
Like you can open it up and it shows you what your
Trip right. That's what we're gonna do. Trip right.
So speaking of sports and speaking of the Passion Conference, I think it was earlier this year, if I'm not mistaken, where you were invited to Globe Life Field with all the other pastors, and you got to take batting practice, if I'm not mistaken. Did you hit any out?
No, but let me tell you, for anybody that sits and watches a baseball game from home and thinks they could do better, or how come they didn't make that throw, like I just want to tell somebody, like, hey man, you go take a little BP and see how far 385 yards is to left field.
Yeah.
Don't say a word. Do not criticize and critique those guys. I'll say this: I got 10 BPs. I missed a lot of times, but in the batting competition, I think I won it.
Okay.
I think I won it. I got to the grass. Let's just say that I got to the grass.
You beat Madhu?
I got Madhu, man. I got Madhu. I'll say that. I love Pastor Madhu. He's a good dude. I got Madhu. I got a lot of people on that one. I think I won that one.
I'm guessing if you played basketball against him, though, it would have been a little bit more.
Ed plays basketball too.
Madhu's
He's a baller.
I know he plays basketball, but Robert Madhu has a little bit of height.
Madhu's a baller. Madhu's a baller. He's a good dude.
We went to both. Like we went to your church, and then we went to his church in Dallas when we were checking out Texas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a great church.
Yeah.
Great.
A lot of energy in there. So, while we were talking about sports, we didn't really talk about that yet. But what's your favorite basketball team?
Duke University. I'm a Duke Blue Devils fan, which, by the way, their football team's in the ACC championship. Is that a big deal in Canada for you guys?
No, college is not nearly what it is in the U.S.
Yeah, I was going to say that's that's
so you have Duke,
deal
and
for us.
doesn't your wife have a different team, or are you both?
Yeah, she cheers for Kansas.
Yes.
She was born in Kansas. I was born in North Carolina.
Right. Yeah, and you just went. I just saw something on social media where you went. Where'd you go to watch? Was it Kansas? The
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you watched
New York,
MSG Jayhawks. Did they win that? Did they win that game?
No, sir.
Oh.
Duke won that game. Yes.
Duke, I remember Duke. The only reason why I know Duke is because of those starter jackets that we used to wear when we were younger, and everybody wanted the Duke Blue Devils starter jacket, right? It was between that one, Michigan, and the Tar Heels.
North Carolina, yeah.
I think the Tar Heels were the most popular
Yeah,
ones
that
up
would
here
be.
in Canada.
I was thinking it'd be the Calgary Flames, maybe.
No,
No?
we don't
No.
talk about the Flames.
So the province of Alberta, that's where they have two teams: Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames. We're two provinces over. We have the Winnipeg Jets. We don't like the Calgary Flames, and we don't like the Edmonton Oilers even more so because in the '80s they beat us every single playoffs. So I still have PTSD from that.
That just lets you know where I'm at in the hockey scope of things. I had no idea those teams existed in that same location.
There you go.
You're also a San Antonio fan, if I remember correctly, for the Spurs.
Yes,
And
sir.
have you ever sat courtside for the Spurs?
I have. I have. My son is the ball boy
What?
for the Spurs.
Really?
Which is
wow.
but that I didn't sit courtside because of that. But yeah, my son's a ball boy, and a lot of love. Got a lot of love for the Spurs. A lot of great people that love Jesus that work for the Spurs.
That's awesome. Me and Tim sat in row 3 for a Timberwolves game in Minnesota one time.
Ooh.
But
illegally.
we didn't.
Those weren't where our tickets were.
You just went down there and sat.
Yeah, and then they didn't kick us out, so we were
because they knew about your very well known podcast.
Yeah.
That's why.
We're highly favored and we're truly blessed over here. That's why. Just got it. We get away with this kind of stuff.
Well, they felt sorry for some guys from Canada. That's what they did.
Yeah, that's right.
We said a lot of pleases and thank yous, so we're very polite over here, and maybe some sorries.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the 2 special segments that we have?
Yeah. So we have. I think it's about what time is it? 5:15.
We got about 15 minutes left.
15 minutes. So if it's okay with you, we got a couple of fun games to end the interview off with. So the first one is the game is called Preach It or Pass It. And the rules are we're going to give you 5 random phrases. Some are deep, some are fun. And you have 10 seconds to say whether you would, if you could turn it into a sermon. Okay. And then, and if you do decide that you can, you're going to give us a 1-sentence sermon opener based on that sentence. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Right.
This is going to test you.
And if you pass it, then we lose respect for you, which I'm sure you won't. But I'm throwing it out there. Greg, do you want to start the first one?
Yeah, I'll do the first one here. The title is The Group Chat That Never Ends.
Group chat that never ends. So do I pick or pass? Is that
would you preach that or would you pass that? I'm
going to pass that.
Okay, here we go. Number 2, faith like a flat tire.
I'm going to pass.
Okay. We only got 5, so you have to pick at least one.
Yeah. Listen, I want to see what you got.
Okay. When God,
because I don't think you got 5. I really think you only got 2 because you thought I was going to.
We got 5. I'm
we
looking
got
at it right
5.
now.
We're prepared. The next one is when God ghosts your plans.
There we go. I'm gonna pick it.
Okay. What's your opening? What's your opening lines for that one?
Opening lines is this: when God is silent, it's not because he's not listening. He's actually delaying the fact that the very thing that you've been wanting and asking for is not a part of his sovereign will. And if he actually gave it to you, the reason why he's ignoring you is because of the fact that if he gave you what you wanted, it would wreck your life. So God's silence is not the fact that he's absent. His denial is not that he's denying you. His denial is that he's actually got something better for you.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
So we're looking forward to that one on Sunday.
Yeah, you have to preach it the next Sunday. That's the other thing. Number 4, spiritual life lessons from the drive-through.
The drive-through. I'll pick it. All right, I'll take it. Spiritual lessons from the drive-through is the message that we're talking about this morning, because we live in a culture that wants everything immediate and quick. And this is not hot and ready. Sometimes the greater things in life have to be developed in the crock pot. And while we wait in the waiting room, know this, that in the waiting room of life, that oftentimes can be considered the drive-through, you don't get what you want in that moment because God's got something better in store for you in the waiting process. So sometimes get out of the drive-through and go eat inside the diner, because God wants to cook up and whip up something special just for you and hand it across the counter, look you in the face and say, I made this fresh and anew for you.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
I thought you would go for that one. And you said hot and ready. Did you know that Texas has the most Little Caesars in all of North America? So that's one little tidbit.
Right.
The second one is I feel like McDonald's is in a theme a lot with you. You talk about McDonald's in your book because that's where you got your, like, the person that came to you and said to you that one day God is going to greatly use you. That was said at McDonald's. And the second is we saw a reel on Instagram where you're talking and your piano or organ player in the background plays the McDonald's theme song.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah, it was the Hebrew Happy Meal. I was talking about the feeding of the 5,000, and she played that. He go off to school with his little Hebrew Happy Meal.
So I thought you might go for that drive-through one. So that's good. You didn't let me down, that's for sure.
Before we go on to number 5, what is your favorite guilty pleasure fast food place to visit?
I mean, here in and I don't know if you guys like Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A is going to be option number 1 for me. In-N-Out Burgers number 2, but I think I could probably replace that with Five Guys because I think that's a pretty solid burger. But yeah, it would probably be number 1. Chick-fil-A is guilty pleasure. I could eat there every day.
All right, there you go.
We don't have that here yet, but we do have Five Guys, and we don't have In-N-Out either. So
yeah, Southern.
You guys don't have Chick-fil-A in Canada?
We do in Toronto.
They're slowly coming here. Toronto has, I think, 1 or 2 or 3. It's coming to Alberta starting, I think, this year.
And we just got a Jimmy John's here.
Yeah. He wasn't on his list, so he probably doesn't like it. Do you want to do?
What's the go-to?
What's that?
What's the go-to in Canada? What would be your fast food choice in Canada?
Oh, there's so many.
Five Guys is big.
We have a lot of burger joints that are like independents, and they have the Fat Boys, which will have like a big burger with chili and everything on it. So we got like Juniors, George's, like these are all independents here in Winnipeg. But the go-to for fast food, probably like McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King.
Okay.
Those are your main staples here. Yeah. So he did 2 already.
You want to give him number 5?
You want to give him number 5?
Yeah, this is the last one we're going to give you. Pass or play here. And the title is Your Calling Isn't on Sale.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, here we go. Your calling's not on sale because first and foremost, people didn't give it to you. God gave it to you. God consecrated you before you were actually formed and fashioned into reality. While you were in your mother's womb, God appointed you, gave you spiritual giftings along the way. And therefore, since man did not call you and God called you, it's not for sale.
Awesome. Fantastic.
Again, I'm looking forward to hearing all the full messages on Sunday. So you guys do 3 services, 4 services, right?
1 on Saturday and 4 on Sunday.
Yeah. So you have enough time to do all 3 of those then. That's perfect.
Do you guys do Christmas big out there, Christmas services? Like out here in Canada, Christmas is huge. We do it all like Christmas Eve. Do you guys do big Christmas big out there?
Yeah, we have one special service right before Christmas where we do a lot of singing Christmas songs. And then we have a big Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve services are bigger than most Christmas services. And so we have 13 Christmas Eve services here.
That's a bit.
That's more than us. We have 5, I think. But 5's a lot here. 13 is
5 is a lot. Sure.
What happens on like number 10? Is it like you just like wheel out in a wheelchair and you're like, I'm mailing this one in?
Well, I'm only doing like live 4, but then they're broadcasted to our campus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit easier to take then.
So we have the next game, the last game here is called the Texas 10, and it's going to be a rapid fire round. We're going to give you the options of a couple of things, and you're just going to pick one. If you want to elaborate on it, you can. But
some are questions, some are this or that. But this is something new that we wanted to put something different together for you because this is very Texas related. So here you can go for the first one.
Number 1, what's more spiritual? Sunrise at the Riverwalk or a perfect brisket at 6 p.m.?
A perfect brisket at 6 p.m.
Oh, wow. What's the most San Antonio thing someone has ever said to you after a message?
I can't repeat it because it's profanity.
We just bleep it. We just bleep it out anyway, so it doesn't matter. If you could preach one message at the Alamo, you do remember the Alamo, right? Okay.
do. I
If you
do.
could preach one message in front of the Alamo, what would the title be?
Thank you, Davy Crockett.
I thought it was going to be come and get it.
Come and, come and take it.
Come and take
Come
it.
and
That's
take
right. This is a Whataburger question because I loved Whataburger when I was in Texas. Are you an A1 thick and hearty or a patty melt?
Ooh, I'd be a patty melt guy, no onions.
No onions.
I'll take your onions. Number 5, what's one thing people assume mega churches pastors love, but you actually don't?
Fame.
Yeah, I was right.
Everybody, yeah, fame.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks you're a celebrity pastor. I'm not a celebrity pastor.
Just a regular guy, just like everybody else.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What moment grows your faith more? A quiet morning prayer or a last-minute Sunday miracle?
Oh man, I would say a morning prayer.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one biblical character that you would like to take to a Spurs game, and why?
Benaiah. He killed a lion in a pit on a snowy day, and I need him to kill every mascot that comes across the Spurs way.
Do you ever get too much into sports and you forget you're a pastor, by the way?
One time I had a boxing match. I was shouting Spanish profanity only because the 5 rows behind me were yelling it, and I didn't even know it. And the camera came on, and I was like, bah, 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 in regards to Spanish. And my friend looked at me and said, dude, never say that out loud ever again in front of the camera.
Oh,
wow. The most Texas thing that has ever happened during a church service.
Ooh. The theme here is profanity. That's I was yelled at with profanity.
That was the one where the guy came and sat up on the stage with you?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I shared that with a lot of people. That was it was very moving what you guys did as a church for that person.
Yeah.
So it was, you know, it may have started out a little strange, but we appreciated how you dealt with that in the moment.
Oh, thank you, man. A lot of people were blessed by that, and yeah, that's a wild story of how that all went down.
One thing you wish every Christian in Texas understood about calling.
Yeah, there's a difference between calling and compassion. There are moments where people go on mission trips and they do service projects and they feel like, well, I'm called to do this. And then they choose to do it. And then 2 weeks later they quit. I think there's a difference between compassion of I feel like I'm supposed to do something. A calling isn't, I'm not just called to do something. I'm called to continue to do something for the rest of my life until God changes the call.
Yeah. Awesome. And we got this one last one and then one last question. Finish this sentence. San Antonio needs more blank and less blank.
We need more roads and less traffic.
or just flying cars like in Back to the Future.
Yes.
3 places. They could be restaurants. They could be places to go in San Antonio that are your favorite places to take your wife on a date.
Yeah. Chama Steakhouse, which is an all you can eat Brazilian steakhouse. The meat comes out on skewers and they cut it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen.
Yeah, we have one here.
Yeah, Chama will be number 1. 2, I enjoyed taking my wife to what's called Hotel Emma, which is our nicest hotel here in town. And then 3, I would say 3 might be a stretch on this one, but 2, a concert.
Okay.
At the Alamo Dome.
And this last question is usually either the hardest or the easiest, depending on how prepared you are for it. What is one piece of advice that you could give to anybody that's listening to this podcast right now, what would be one piece of advice you would give them today?
Yeah, don't take yourself so seriously. You, so many times we lose the fact that life can actually be more joyful than what we make it, because we're so concerned about our past, so worried about our future that we don't enjoy the present. And so I think so many times we feel as if that our life is more out of control than we think, and it's not. God's got our steps ordered. So make yourself smaller, make God bigger.
Yeah.
So,
It's a great way to look at it. So great piece of advice.
absolutely.
For anybody that's listening right now, check out the book "Why Not You" by Pastor Ed Newton. It's a great book. We both read it here, and I listened to it on Audible because I'm not a great reader. Tim read it because somehow he has time.
I have time and I'm literate, so that's good.
I'm literate. I just don't have time to read it. I'm a slow reader. So, Pastor Ed, we really appreciate the time you've taken here for us. And
Yes, fantastic.
And we hope the Christmas season is fantastic for you, and that everything at CBC Church there is amazing. So we appreciate you.
Well, thank you guys, and grateful for you, and thank y'all for visiting our church, and thank you for being great friends to Bart and Cindy, and thank y'all for just allowing me to be on the show. And man, it means a lot that you guys would take time to read that book. And man, I just pray that it's a blessing to somebody, and why not you? God's going to use somebody. Why not you guys? And I'm grateful. And to a Canadian audience, if this is any type of moment of encouragement, CBC oftentimes gets interpreted here as the Canadian Broadcast Channel.
We are very well aware.
But it's Community Bible Church. So I hope we at another level meet and get a chance to hang out again another day.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
We'll be back for sure.
Thank you guys. Much love.
Thanks for watching the Greg and Tim Show podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. Sharing is caring.